a calm mum is easier said than done. Trust me, I know. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to be a more calm and happy mum by giving you 10 tips that will hopefully help you to feel more zen-like. I grew up with a mum that had no control over her emotions, so I didn't have the best role model when it comes to calm parenting. So I'm learning all of this, and these are just some tips that I've implemented and actually have changed my perspective and helped me to be a more calm mum. So my first tip is just to acknowledge that you haven't been calm in the past. We all have our downfalls. There have all been times when mums have lost their shit and snapped. And we can really empower ourselves when we begin to accept our downfalls, our imperfections, and realize that there's no such thing as perfect, because no mum is perfect, and it's just about acknowledging that, accepting that, so then we have awareness of it and begin to change those behavior patterns. So my second one is affirmations and mantras. So I love using affirmation and mantras because they're a great way to intercept that thought pattern when you do begin to lose your cool, when you begin to feel like you're going to shout at your child, they've triggered you in some way. If you pause and say a mantra that'll help you focus on something positive, it changed the mindset, and over time, when you begin to use affirmations daily over and over again, it helps to make those new neural pathways and new thought patterns. It helps to put you in a more positive state of mind. I don't have time to go into today all the affirmations I use or what works best, but you can download my free motherhood empowerment affirmations MP3, and this will help you to feel more connected to yourself as a mother, help you feel more empowered and reclaim that power in motherhood. I've used this when I've been sleeping, I've used it when I've been driving, I've used it when I've been doing housework, so it's an all good rounder and easy to use at any point in your day. So you just click the link in the pinned comments below and you can start listening to that today. So number 3 on my list is getting up before your children. I know you're thinking, yeah, right, my baby or my child wakes up 10 times in the night. There's no chance of me getting up earlier. I want to make the most of it. I want to get as much sleep as possible. Like, I hear you. Trust me, I know. My son is 2.5 and he still wakes up 3 times in the night, and he used to wake up every 45 minutes, and I do not miss those times. So getting up when you're already sleep deprived, I really do understand that. But hear me out. I used to get up at 5 a.m. when my son did begin to sleep for longer periods of time. And what this helped me to do was to get myself ready, have my breakfast, and just have a cup of tea without somebody needing me or nagging me. And it just helps me to have that time to myself to re-collaborate and prepare myself for the day. So I'm not saying get up at 5 a.m. Don't worry. But what I'm saying here, even just 10 minutes before your kids come in screaming and shouting and jumping all over you can make the world of difference. Number 4 on my list, lower your expectations. This is something I am working on. I'm trying to lower my expectations as a mum. We are told mums must do everything and meet some kind of invisible expectation that we've kind of agreed with ourselves and with society that we must meet. But it's not real. And it's the same with our children. Our expectations of our child are up here, and then their child development is down here. And when we expect them to do things that they're just not capable of yet, it makes us short-tempered, it makes us grumpy, it makes us less patient, because we are wanting them to be able to do it and they just simply can't. So we need to let go of this idea of perfect mum, perfect child, and that if we don't meet these expectations, then somehow that determines whether we are a good mum, whether we are bad mum, or whether your child is perfect or whether your child is bad. And when you let go of these expectations, you feel calmer, you feel happier as a mum because you don't put that pressure on yourself to be perfect, to meet these false expectations that society tells us that we must be meeting. My 5th tip on my list is emotionally prepare yourself for the day. This kind of continues on from getting up before your children. So this one really helps if you have a busy day ahead, because we want to feel like the day will go as planned, but sometimes things don't go as well as you had hoped. You've got to emotionally prepare yourself for tantrums, for meltdowns, for things not being in your control. Number 6 on my list, expectations of others. Boundaries, or just speaking your truth to other people. You must allow other people to help. We are always told that we are supermom, doing all ourselves, and I'm still learning this. I like to do a lot myself, but we cannot do it all. We get overwhelmed, and then we get grumpy, and it leaves us short-tempered with our families, and we end up shouting and not being that calm and happy mum that we really want to be. We end up resenting our partners because we don't feel they are pulling their weight, because we are doing everything. We're always giving. This is where expectations of our partner has got to change. And this is not me bashing at men and partners, but just being realistic that mothers cannot do it all. Have boundaries, speak our truth, and allow that masculine energy to come in and provide for us. We need to speak up and say, I need a break. I need you to do bedtime tonight. So number 7 on my list is listening to your body. So our relationship with our body determines how we react to our children, how we show up as a mother, because when we are triggered by our children's behavior, whatever it may be doing, this is felt in our bodies. And this is when you need to listen to your body. If your body is tensing up because your child is pushing on that last nerve, they're getting on your nerves, and you're feeling in your body, this is when you need to listen to the most. To calm the mind, you must calm the body. And we are so disconnected from our bodies. So it's taking that time to start to listen to that and re-establishing that relationship and connection to your body and honouring your body again. And the same goes for when you need to rest. We often push through as mothers because we think we don't have time to rest. And it's this hustle culture that we must be always on the go and we must always be doing things. And so we push past that tiredness because we do need to meet the needs of our children. We have to keep these little humans alive. So sometimes even if we are tired and we are aching, we push past that and we don't listen to our bodies. The key here is to manage your time for self-care, which leads me on to my next tip, which is tip number 8, is self-care. So you're thinking, here we go, here's that buzzword, self-care, but it is super important. We feel we don't have time for self-care. We don't want to do self-care because we feel we just want to do nothing in the evening. And simply having a hot bubble bath magically make all your problems disappear. We have to approach self-care from a whole mind, body and spirit perspective. It's deeper than this bubble bath. To really be that calm parent, we have to take care of our body. We have to take care of ourselves emotionally and our spiritual aspects too. And because we are giving all the time, we are depleted of our own energy. So sometimes it's just about being in your own energy and filling your cup up with your energy, filling your energy back up again. Managing your time effectively, having boundaries come into place. You have to say to your partner, I want this time for me time. I need a break. I need some time to fill up my cup and do things that you enjoy that's outside of motherhood. As a woman, look after yourself. Do things that you enjoy. It's not simply about having a bubble bath or going for a spa day. Go and do something that you really love doing. Number 9 on my list is letting go of control and outcome. I think all parents, regardless mum and dad, can all benefit from this. So we feel we have to have some kind of control over our children. We've been conditioned to believe this is how we must parent. We must have control over them, impose our will on them. But have you ever tried controlling a toddler or trying to get a toddler to do what you want? What happens? More resistance, more tantrums, and just disconnection. We end up losing our temper, we're not calm, we're not patient, we're not gentle because we feel we don't have control over the situation. And here it's about using trust and connection rather than control and manipulation. The thing is, we cannot control everything that happens. Children have tantrums. Children don't want to go to bed. Children just don't want to do the things we want them to because humans are designed to not be controlled. That's our natural state. We don't want to be controlled. And I'm still learning this. Honestly, it's my biggest lesson in motherhood. Now, I just let go when I know things are out of my control. So, for example, if my son has had a nap in the car at like 4 or 5 p.m., I just accept that he's not going to go to bed at his usual time. He's not going to go to bed early. He's going to end up having a late bedtime. So that means my evening's gone out of the window. And I used to let that really bother me, really frustrate me and say, that's my time. You've robbed me of my time. But now I just accept that he's not going to go to bed early. And sometimes these things happen. The more we try to control and get angry and annoyed at these situations that are not in our control, the less calm we are, the less connected we are, and the more resistance it builds. And it just takes practice of letting go and changing your perspective around situations. So my last and final tip, number 10, is get rid of the mental noise. And what I mean by that is getting rid of any distractions that's going on in here. So our mental state determines how we react in motherhood, what our mindset is like. Are we in a negative mindset? Are we in a positive mindset? And things that distract us, that play on our mind, is our busy lives. What is going on in our lives that makes us have a lot going on in our minds? So the type of mental state you're in really determines how you react and respond to your child, because the more distraction and mental noise you have going on in your mind, you become less patient, you become short-tempered, you're not calm and a happy mum, you are your kids get on your nerves much more easily. So it's about reducing that noise and the distractions. And in this day and age, we are constantly on our phones, distracted and always wanting to know what's going on, looking at that phone all the time. So this adds to the other mental distractions that are going on, like our jobs, our schedules, to-do lists, everything that's playing on our minds that we feel we have to get done. And the key here is to reducing those. Maybe you can reduce the amount of things that you've actually scheduled with your children. This is a really great and easy way to start, because children do not need to go to every single group, every single club that's in the book. So maybe only doing 1 or 2 a week is a great way to help you become calm